Na 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 na, Kit Kat blog.
Hey, welcome to the Kit Kat blog. I'm Mae Catt, and this is not Kit, but sort of my co-host for the evening. We're going to talk about one of my favorite things, Universal Monsters. So the first Universal movie I ever saw was Dracula, and I think I must have been 8 or 9, thereabout. And Dracula came out in 1931, is directed by Tod Browning, and of course stars Bela Lugosi. It's kind of not a great film. It's a little boring. It is basically the play filmed instead of being on stage. Even though the film has all these flaws, I didn't find it that boring at 8 or 9, and that's mostly because of one character named Renfield. Now, Renfield, he's in the book, and he's in some of the movies, he's in the TV show right now. Renfield is basically Dracula's slave. And before the movie started, my dad sort of explained the plot to me, and he explained Renfield as a normal person who's trying to be a vampire. And that always just stuck with me. Renfield is played by a wonderful actor named Dwight Frye. Dwight Frye had a wonderful career up until then as a sort of Broadway stage actor, ranging from dramas, and he really loved comedy, he was really good at it, and he was hailed as like a fantastic actor. He moves to Hollywood and tries to break into pictures, and the breakout role for him was Renfield, which he plays like amazingly. Like, the scariest part of Dracula is not Bela Lugosi skulking around, it's Dwight Frye telling you about how terrible Dracula is. Renfield starts off totally sane guy, just going to Dracula's castle. Dracula does something to him off screen, and he's driven insane. So for most of the movie, he's just this crazy guy. There's one scene that like stands out to me that really just sort of made me fall in love with this guy. He is with the heroes, he's with Van Helsing, and he's hunched over, and his arms are clenched, and his eyes are just so wide as he explains this like hallucination that was induced into him where he sees like 1,000,000 rats. And Dracula promising him, these lives of the rats will be given to you, and you will become immortal like me. You gotta think about that, like as an 8-year-old watching that, having a guy just be like, I was promised 1,000,000 rats to eat and live off of. Like, that image is so much scarier and so much more frightening with his delivery than really anything anyone else does throughout the movie. So if you want to see Dracula, and I do recommend you see it, it is the first in its long line of Universal monster movies, and it's got its place in history. I do warn, it is pretty boring. It's awesome, but it's, it is what it is. There is, however, the Spanish version of Dracula. When they were filming Dracula, the English-speaking cast and crew would be there, and they would film during the day, from morning until evening. So the Spanish crew came in at night and filmed from night to morning, and they just switched that way. So the director was not a Spanish speaker, but he was a pretty clever man. He would come during the day, watch Tod Browning and what they were doing, and then basically direct a much better movie at night. So Spanish Dracula is so much better, and it's better paced, and it's miraculously longer. It has like 2 or 3 more scenes that are not in the English-speaking version, and it's so clever with the camera work and clever with the pacing. It's really cool. If you're gonna see them, I think you should see both of them.